Yarmouk, the refugee camp for Palestinians that's now a symbol of suffering. It's been besieged by government forces for nearly a year and torn by the fight against rebel groups. On this day, there's a moment of calm, an agreement to allow students out. But just for 2 weeks, as schools across Syria hold final tests. It's been a walk through a war zone. We heard gunfire just before their journey started.
Students going to sit their exams may seem a simple thing, but here in Yarmouk, it took weeks of negotiations, days of delay, and huge security concerns. That's what life is like when you live under siege.
On our last visit to Yarmouk, we saw how desperate conditions are. Thousands of families trapped inside depend on food aid, but they're only getting a quarter of what they need to survive because the situation is so volatile. No wonder there's such relief when the students finally emerge. Ahmed, who's stuck outside Yarmouk, hasn't seen his daughter Layla for 10 months. He tells me, my happiness is so big, I can spread it around the world.
You're feeling really happy.
Thank you, thank you.
Buses organised by the UN's Agency for Palestinian Refugees take the students away. They call the parents they left behind and try to remember the streets they haven't seen for months. When we arrive at the schools which now serve as shelters, there are more tearful reunions.
We are hoping, that, Yarmouk will be opened, It's not to get a permission or not a permission, but to have a smooth, movement of people in and out so that they can feel that they have the choice, to leave.
But exams aren't the only thing on the minds of students who've escaped from a living hell.
We have to eat food that no one can eat. Grass, spices. Life is very difficult inside. You can't understand it until you live there. I was outside the house, and when I came home I found a rocket had landed. My mother and my 2 sisters were killed. My other 2 sisters are injured. It's not a life, but we say thank God. Every day we went to school, we put our hand on our heart because so many people have died. But we insisted we had to go to school. Of course we were scared, but we had to continue. If we lose our future, no one can help us.
It's straight to revision for their exams. They know how much they matter. But when they're over, it's back to Yarmouk, where their lives, their future, is not in their hands. Lise Doucette, BBC News, Damascus.